Tomatoes for Neela. Neela loved cooking with her amma in their cozy kitchen. There was a lovely portrait of her Patti that hung over them, watching them cook. Neela and her amma made all kinds of yummy recipes. There were cakes and puddings and sauces always bubbling away. Amma scribbled all the recipes into a big notebook. It was always open. Neela loved to sit on the counter and copy the recipes into her own notebook too. Among these spices and nuts, there sat another cloth-covered book on the shelf. This one looked old and important, like it was full of spells and belonged to a wizard. But it had actually once belonged to her Patti, and one day it would belong to Neela. Saturday was Neela's favorite day of the week. They were going to the green market. The market was always buzzing with customers and now brimming with crops from the end of summer. Juicy ripe peaches, plump blueberries, golden corn topped with stringy silk so shiny it looked like the hair on Neela's doll. The best time of the year. And best of all, tomatoes. Neela smiled at the heirloom tomatoes with their funny shapes and ridges. Amma explained they are called heirlooms because their seeds are passed down from season to season, so they always maintain their deep flavor. These tomatoes reminded Neela of Patti's cookbook. Neela and Amma brought back a bag bursting with plump, juicy plum tomatoes. Plum tomatoes were the best for making her Patti's favorite tomato sauce because they had fewer seeds. Making sauce was something she had done at the end of every summer, right before school started, since Neela could remember. Neela loved how the sauce tasted, but the sweetest part was that it made her feel closer to her Patti, who lived far away from India. Neela unpacked the treasure onto the counter as she smiled up and her Patti's portrait. Neela always helped her amma. She shelled peas in the spring, peeled sweet potatoes in the fall, and even sprinkled and stirred into dishes. Neela loved listening to her amma tell stories while they cooked together. Many of these tales had been passed down from mothers to their daughters. Amma washed and carefully cut excess on the bottom of each tomato. Then she dropped them in boiling water for just a few minutes. After she strained them and they were cool enough to touch, Neela began to peel them. Next, Amma cut them over a bowl, saving the juices and seeds. Neela peeled garlic, and then Amma sliced and fried the garlic gently with oil in the pan. At times, Amma moved so quickly. The bangles on her wrists made pretty clinking sounds. This was music to Neela's ears. There was a slow rhythm when she chopped, faster beats when she shook spices, but the loudest and most fun was her amma shredded carrots with the box grater. When the garlic was just barely golden, Amma added the tomatoes to the pan. Neela shook in the salt and Amma stirred, her bangles clicking and clacking. Neela danced around to the rhythm of the bracelet's music. Then she dropped in a few bay leaves so that Amma could stir again. Amma put a lid on the pan and showed Neela how to carefully lower the flame, just so. The sauce simmered. The room smelled deliciously of warm tomatoes and roasted garlic. Did you know that tomato comes from an old Aztec word, tomatul? They traveled from the New World all the way to Europe and even India long ago, Amma said. People thought tomatoes were pretty but feared they were poisonous. Neela laughed at the idea of being afraid of a tomato. Over the years, people in Spain and Italy began to cook them in sauces and stews and found they were just delicious. Neela wrote these notes down in her recipe book in clear letters. She was excited to show her auntie that she had learned about tomatoes and how she could make the family tomato sauce when she would come to visit in the winter. Sauce is ready. Wanna taste? Amma asked. Yes, Neela said. She ate slowly, letting the warm sauce coat her mouth. This was the taste they would savor all winter when the air grew cold and tomatoes were no longer in season. But why can't we just buy tomatoes then, Amma? Because tomatoes grow in vines on the longest days of the year when it's hot enough to go swimming. They need to swim in the sun. Amma explained that tomatoes pick when in season not only taste better, they are better for you. It's best to have fruits and vegetables when Mother Nature likes to grow them near us, Amma said. All Neela knew was that cooking tomatoes in summer would make her happy in the winter too. Made into simple pasta sauce or yummy chutney, used to stew beans for chili or turned into salsa for enchiladas. The tomatoes would fill containers and can jars that would be the pride and joy for their kitchen. Now they just had to save enough to have tomatoes in the winter. Neela placed a special jar of tomato sauce in the back of the cupboard that she would save for Patty's next visit. That way, she could be a part of this special Saturday too. One day soon, they would share these sweet flavors together.